You're going to train again, aren't you?
Uh-huh. I'm gonna practice with Whis some more at Beerus's place.
Cool! Can I come with you?
I don't see why not.
No! Oh, come on, Mom! I want to get super strong just like Dad!
The sun was shining brightly over Earth, and Goten was training alone in an open field. He had just finished a series of exercises, but he felt like something was missing. He looked up at the sky and sighed. Goten said, "I want to get stronger, but I don't know how. My father and Vegeta are always busy, and Trunks has his own training too. I need someone who can guide me." It was then that he had an idea. He knew that Whis, the angel who trained his father and Vegeta, was one of the most powerful people he knew. With his mind made up, Goten flew towards Bulma's house, where Whis and Beerus usually stayed when they visited Earth. When he arrived, Goten found Whis standing in the garden, holding his staff. The angel seemed to be in a serious conversation, with holographic images of his sisters, Vados and Margarita, projected onto his staff. Goten spoke, approaching timidly. "Whis, can I talk to you?" Whis turned around, surprised, and said, "Ah, Goten, what are you doing here?" Goten spoke with eyes full of hope. "I was wondering if you could train me. I want to become stronger like my father and Vegeta." Whis frowned and gave a light laugh and said, "Oh, my dear Goten, I would love to help, but I'm very busy right now. I have to train Broly to control his ki, and I still owe training sessions to Vegeta and Goku. Besides, I'm talking to my sisters about important matters." Whis pointed to the images of Vados and Margarita, which were projected on his staff. Goten lowered his head in disappointment and said, "Okay, I understand. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Who knows, maybe another time you can train me." However, on the other end of the call, Belmod, the god of destruction of Universe 11, who was standing next to Margarita, stared at Goten. He recognized something in that young man. Belmod spoke, leaning forward. "Wait a minute. Whis, who is this kid? He looks familiar." Whis raised an eyebrow and said, "Oh yes, that's Goten, Son Goku's youngest son." Belmod replied surprised, "Youngest son? I thought Goku only had one son, the Gohan who participated in the Tournament of Power." Whis explained, "Well, he has two sons actually. Goten is the youngest." Belmod looked at Goten with renewed interest. He remembered how Goku had impressed everyone during the Tournament of Power, and now he saw similar potential in his son. Belmod spoke, a twinkle in his eye. "Whis, I have a proposal. If you're too busy to train the boy, why not let him come to Universe 11? Margarita can train him. She's an excellent teacher, and I'd like to see what this young man can do." Whis thought for a moment, scratching his chin and said, That's an interesting idea. Goten, what do you think?" Goten was excited, but his joy disappeared in seconds when he remembered his mother. Goten said, "I would love to, but my mother would never let me go to another universe. Besides, she wants me to focus on my studies." Belmod laughed with a confident expression and said, "Don't worry about it. The training will be quick. Your mother won't even notice that you're gone." Goten hesitated for a moment, but his excitement was greater. Goten spoke with a radiant smile. "Okay, I'll go." Whis nodded and raised his staff and said, "Very well, let's go then." Whis used his staff and summoned his cube to go to Universe 11 with a simple movement. Goten took a step forward, but before he looked back, imagining Chi-Chi's reaction if she found out, he took a deep breath and entered the cube. After a few minutes in Universe 11, upon arriving at the universe he had never set foot in before, Goten was greeted by Margarita, the angel of Universe 11, and Belmod. The planet was stunning, with landscapes Goten had never seen in his life. Margarita spoke, examining Goten with interest. "So you are the son of Son Goku. Let's see if you inherited your father's talent." Goten spoke with determination. "I'll do my best." The training began immediately. Margarita was a strict but fair instructor. She taught Goten how to control his ki in ways he had never imagined. He learned advanced combat techniques and how to channel his energy more efficiently. Margarita spoke as she watched Goten practice. "Concentrate, Goten. Ki isn't just brute force, it's an extension of your being." Goten replied, sweating profusely. "I'm trying, but it's harder than it looks." Belmod watched from afar, impressed by Goten's progress. Belmod said with a satisfied smile, "He's really talented, maybe even more than Goku was at the same age." As the days passed, Goten began to show signs of a latent power that not even he knew he had. Margarita decided to test his limits. Margarita spoke in a serious tone. "Goten, today we're going to do something different. I'm going to teach you a technique that only the gods of destruction master." Goten replied, his eyes wide. "A technique from the gods of destruction?" Margarita replied, "Yes, but be careful, it requires absolute control of your ki. If you fail, the consequences could be catastrophic." Goten agreed and the training continued. He learned to channel his energy in a destructive but controlled way. It was a difficult process, but Goten was determined to master the technique. After weeks of intense training, Goten was almost mastering the technique. Belmod was impressed by the young man's progress. Belmod said with a proud smile, "He's almost ready." Goten asked, confused, "Almost ready for what?" Margarita replied with an enigmatic smile, "To become a god of destruction." Goten was shocked and without understanding anything said, "A god of destruction? Me? But why? This is part of the training." Belmod replied, "You've already shown that you have the potential. Now, all that's left is to accept the role." Goten thought for a moment. He knew it would be a great challenge, but he also saw it as an opportunity to protect those he loved. Goten said with determination, "All right, I accept." Margarita smiled and held out her staff. A stream of energy enveloped Goten, and he felt immense power flow through him. When the light dissipated, Goten had transformed. He now knew what it was like to be a god of destruction from Universe 11. Margarita said with a proud smile, "Congratulations, Goten! Now you are almost a god of destruction. Remember, I only gave you a little bit of the power of destruction, but if you train well, in the end you will receive a costume similar to Belmod's." Goten looked at his hands, feeling the power that now resided within him. Goten said with a confident smile, "Wow, clothes like Belmod's? That's going to be amazing! I can't wait to wear the clothes of a god of destruction. I promise to use this power to protect the universe." After the first part of the training was almost complete, Belmod was surprised by Goten because his evolution was faster than Toppo and even Jiren, and now they will go to the next stage of the training. He would do this on planet Earth. After all, Chi-Chi might be worried about her son, and with that, Whis decided to return home using his cube. After a few minutes, Goten returned to Earth. Chi-Chi, as expected, didn't even notice that he had left. Goten decided to keep his training a secret for now, knowing that his mother wouldn't approve. Chi-Chi asked as he entered the house, "Where were you, Goten?" Goten said with an innocent smile. "Oh, I was just training with Trunks." Chi-Chi sighed and replied, "Well, at least you're exercising. Now go wash your hands. Dinner is ready." Goten smiled and went to the kitchen, knowing that his life had changed forever. He was now almost a god of destruction, but someone was approaching his house and Goten felt it from afar and knew very well who that key belonged to. Vegeta arrived at Chi-Chi's house, feeling a strange and powerful energy. He opened the door abruptly, his eyes wide. Vegeta spoke in a warning tone. "Chi-Chi, what's going on here? I can feel the energy of a god of destruction." Goten stepped forward, a little nervously, and said, "Vegeta, I have something to tell you." Chi-Chi crossed her arms, irritated, and said, "What did you do this time, Goten?" Goten took a deep breath and explained everything. His trip to Universe 11, his training with Margarita, and his rise as God of Destruction. Chi-Chi turned pale, while Vegeta looked at Goten with a mixture of shock and anger. Vegeta said with a sarcastic smile, "So you, a boy, have achieved what I've been seeking for years. Show me if you're capable of using Hakai." Goten hesitated, but decided to prove his power. He raised his hand, and a small sphere of purple energy appeared, ready to destroy anything in its path. Chi-Chi shouted, "Goten, stop it now!" Vegeta laughed, impressed, and said, "Well, it seems we have another bearer of the destruction energy. Goku will be happy to hear that. But let's go outside and I'll show you my Ultra Ego in action." Chi-Chi fainted instantly, while Goten and Vegeta exchanged glances. Guys, what did you think of the story so far? We'll end it here, but you can be happy because the full story will be published soon. However, for that to happen, it's important that you leave your like and also subscribe to the channel. Bye!